This is Anya Peters, founder of Kit and Kin, chef extraordinaire, one of my favorite, I would like to say culinary magicians that I have come across that just really puts the love in her food. So I'm so happy to have you here as my first guest here at Flatbush for Tea and Vibes. So if you can please introduce yourself to everyone and those who may be listening later, starting with your I am, your name, and your why.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I am Anya Peters. As Nastrah said, I am the chef and founder of Kit and Kin, which is a culinary studio documenting and celebrating Caribbeanness through food and storytelling. And I came across this work because I was genuinely interested after culinary school to learn from my elders how to make Trinidadian and Jamaican foods. I was trained in the French brigade system way, which is really cool. But why I fell into food and why I love food so much is because it was a family-driven thing. Like, my dad was always in the kitchen, mom was always in the kitchen. I learned how to set the table from young. All of the aspects of dining and hospitality was always surrounding me. So Kit and Kin became the vehicle to explore and present that work to the public.
You see why? Come on now. You see why? Because that's what inspired me about you, was it wasn't just about food. You added the element of storytelling. So, and you're one of the first few people that I've ever seen put that together, especially wanting to tell the Caribbean story beyond the hype. Yeah, you may know us for music. Yeah, you know us for good food. But what is the real story behind our culture? So if you can really tell us, what was your favorite story that you've been able to tell through your Dutch Pot? Because I know you were doing your documentary, Dutch Pot Chronicles. If you haven't watched or tuned into that, it's on YouTube. So tell us how that came about and what was your favorite story you were able to tell?
Sure. So I'm still accepting submissions. So if anyone is interested, it's all across the Caribbean diaspora. I'm interested in telling their stories. My favorite one, which has really been the OG, has been my grandmother. I learned that. So she grew up in Jamaica, in St. Catherine, which is country town, and she stayed in a space called Overyard. So she told me about how she grew up and the principles that her own grandmother instilled on her while living in Overyard. And I only recently learned about it, but it resonated with what I was doing with Kit and Kin already. So it felt like a full circle moment to hear how, anyone who blew through got food. Sunday dinners were especially important, and Sundays became a very special day for Kit and Kin to create feasts. I would have these pop-ups that were more so family style dinners, and just understanding where she came from and also seeing the joy on her face from someone asking her a question about it, because we don't always talk to our elders. We don't always we're not always interested in, what happened then and stuff. But once I started this work, I didn't even have to ask them. They were just very willing to tell their story, very willing to share a recipe or a person who knows this or anything really related to food and just telling their story. So I think through it, I learned even more so how to listen and how to honor everyone has something to say. So all of the stories have been very interesting, but just that overarching idea of active listening and empathy, and really truly seeing someone and honoring someone as they have a story to tell, just as you're doing with this program with people. everybody has something to say.
And giving them the right space to tell it.
Yeah.
And I love that, especially like being able to sit down with your grandmother and like speak with the ancestors, because that's what I'm learning even through the work that I'm doing. Like, that's becoming a lost gem. Because how often do you get that moment to really talk with them, share the recipes? Because some recipes are just gone forever. Yeah. So what recipe, in regards to your culinary experience, are you looking to pass on? Like, what is your legacy through your recipes?
I don't have a specific recipe. However, I do have what I would like to pass on is for people to stay curious and playful around food. Because I don't follow recipes, and my grandmother, even like when I was first listening to her, I had to run around and like write down estimated measurements and all that stuff because she has nothing. And then even sidebar, we want to make Jamaican black cake, and she's like, oh, we can't make it anymore because I don't have the spoon that determines whether the cake is done. And I was just like, okay. Yeah. So I am very much the same. I don't have recipes, but I do want people to stay curious, stay whimsical, like really push their boundaries into cooking, even if that's just learning how to make rice. Mm-hmm. It's just like, I want people to get involved in using their hands in a tangible fashion to make food. Yeah.
But I like how you just even worded that, because to me that's the recipe. The recipe is take a dash of whimsical, like put a cup of creativity. Like, this is how we're creating our legacy, is to let go of the structure of what you think it's supposed to be and really tap in from your heart and just move how you need to be. Mm-hmm. And so like even this week during meditation, I was thinking about like a quote came up to me, and it was, the more we spend time worrying about results, the more time we spend in lack. The more time we invest in creating and sharing the vision, the results lead to abundance. So could you share a moment that was very stressful for you when it comes to your creativity, and how did you overcome that? Like, what were some of the tools or recipes that you use to empower yourself to create so you're able to share the vision through this stressful time?
I would say, in terms of a stressful time, there's a lot of firsts that I've done this year, which I'm really happy and proud of. And one of them was, so I'm a caterer as well. So one of them was catering a 200 plus person gala, and also handling like the wait service, the bar service, all of that. And I was very stressed. I was very stressful because for some reason clients want to do things last minute but expect like, perfect results. Yeah, for it to happen right away. So I had to take a step back, and I definitely leaned on my support system, my partner, my family. My sister flew in to help me cook and stuff. And I really had to say to myself and have people say to me, like, you've done this before. Because I have done this before in various capacities, but not being like the boss. So that was a moment of realizing my self-worth, of realizing that these people can demand whatever they want from you, but you know what needs to be done and what you can do. And like just taking that split moment to be more objective rather than like super personal about it. And then, approach the situation from that, from abundance rather than like, I don't know what I'm doing, or like, I'm scared. So that was a teaching moment for me, and it really informed how I move now in terms of like interacting with clients and figuring out my boundaries around, because you also need to create boundaries as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, and kind of just saying like, I got this. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it for more than 5 years now. And even if something is a first, you're equipped, or like I'm equipped with the tools. So
I like that. Great gems. Thank you.
Thank you.
Because it's like that kind of went into my next question that I had was, what 3 gems would you tell to an upcoming creator, especially someone that may be inspired in the kitchen or looking to maybe take that next step to even do catering or even be an entrepreneur in that space? What 3 gems would you provide them beyond the, work hard, but like what's something specific to your industry that you could share with them?
I would say this is a general sense for everybody, to just do it, because I've only learned through experience, and experience in many different forms. I first started out as a cook for a catering company. I transitioned to being their sous chef and then their co-chef, and then from there I branched out to start Kit and Kin. And then that has since evolved from pop-ups to catering to consulting, etc., etc. So none of that would have happened if I was just like, I don't know enough, I just did it, and then I was essentially learning on the job. And that's very much true to the culinary industry. Most people don't go to school for it. I did. But you don't necessarily have to. You just have to be ready and willing to learn and to adapt, which I guess would be the second gem. Be open, be like water. Be open to adapting in any situation, figuring out what is your end goal, and just getting to it. So yeah, those would be the gems, I would say. And tap into your networks or create a community. I've been blessed to have an amazing culinary community in Brooklyn, and that's not, I feel like, true for many different areas within the culinary industry. But where I've fallen into, I'm very grateful for the folks that have, said my name in other rooms, that have taught me. I've never been too proud to be a prep cook, for someone else's job. And that's vice versa for anyone that I've worked with. We've all worked under each other at some point, because that's another way that you can learn outside of school. So be humble.
Well, yeah. Anya, I have to say this was really nurturing, just to be able to sit here, talk with you, and share space with everyone. So my very, very last question is, it's going to be rapid fire. So one place that you are desiring to go travel to next?
Besides rapid Jamaica. Okay, Barbados.
The next, one of your favorite meals that you enjoy cooking?
I'm really bad with rapid fire.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Rapid fire. I rapidly choose through the emotions of my
right. I'm like, blah. I enjoy cooking. Rice and peas.
I was gonna say, it's okay to say doubles. If you have not had doubles, it's the best thing ever. But I totally understand. It's a process. And then the last question is, the next skill you are thinking about learning.
I'm thinking about getting into management.
Okay. Yeah. So, Anya, thank you for sharing your time, your space, being here present. It was lovely spending this time talking with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
And with that, folks, that is the completion of Tea and Vibes. It's welcome, actually.
Hi.
I'm like, you strolled in fabulous. Well, welcome. Again, we're here every third Thursday. Really appreciate it. But if you want to share your Anya, your name, where you're from, and what brought you here.
Yeah, I'm very sorry to be late because that's
You're right on time.
Yeah, I'm just visiting New York City. I'm living in Paris, but I'm from Guadeloupe.
Oh, nice.
And when I saw Dave, and that's a Caribbean who was talking about how she cook, and I need to be there.
Yeah.
Very long. I think it's not the best idea. I just decided very late and it's very long, and I had the crazy idea to take a Uber to come here. And I spent just like 1 hour and a half in the Uber, like, oh my god, I'm missing everything.
Oh no.
But I'm very happy to be here.
I'm thankful.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
I've always wanted to visit Guadeloupe, actually.
Oh, you want to go?
Well,
You can't change it.
Oh, I know, right?
Gosh.
of course she can add to it. But yeah, that was Tea and Vibes. Thank you all for coming.
Good job.
Thank you.